Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all. We reached the 5th verse of the first chapter, being Al-Fatiha, the opening, where Allah, the Exalted, says, Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim, and guide us to the straight path. Guide us to the straight path. In Islam, we have certain mannerisms of dua. Dua is supplication, to where you put your hands up to Allah in this manner, to where you ask Allah for something, like you need something from Him. The mannerisms of dua and supplication, the best way or the best methodology of asking Allah for something is by mentioning His names and His attributes, by praising Him first, and then by asking Him or requesting from Him what you want. Just as if I was to request something from you and I didn't know you that well, but I knew you had certain characteristics or things that you have done in the past, I will mention those things and I will praise you on those things, and I may ask you for something, or I may give you advice on that thing because of your deficient nature. But when we see the Creator of the heavens and the earth, it is from correct manners, or the best of manners, to mention His names and His attributes, what He has done for you, what He has done for others, such as the prophets and the books, and then ask or request from Him. Where do we get this from? This verse here, or this chapter. In the beginning, we mention His name, we mention His attributes. All praises to Allah, Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful. These are names. Maliki Yawmiddin, which is another name. Okay, you're mentioning these names and attributes, and then you're praising Him. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Then you're saying it is to you we worship and you we seek help. Then you seek a request from Him. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Oh, the one that has all of these beautiful characteristics that were just mentioned, and names and qualities, amongst many that were not. I ask you to guide me. Because of the characteristics that I see that you are able to do so, your perfection, I am requesting something from you that is befitting to your majesty, that coincides with your qualities. And this is only for Allah. This is why in Islam it is impermissible for a Muslim to ask creation for that which they are not able to perform, giving them godly characteristics of perfection. One of those is ultimate guidance. When I speak to you about Islam, or when someone spoke to you about Islam and you decided to become a Muslim, it wasn't that person that was the source of your guidance. Allah used him or her as a means to call you to the message, and then you obviously had a choice to make. But it was Allah who was the one that ultimately guided you. He was a sign, or he was a person, or she was a person that called you to that way, but they weren't the ones that enabled you to accept it. So we as Muslims ask Allah to guide us. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Guide us to the way. And this is the beautiful mannerisms of supplication. We also see in this verse where Allah says, guide us to this straight path. This way, the straight path. Mustaqim is the straight way, not the way that is altered. It is a straight path. And this path is only one. As a result, brothers and sisters, it is upon us to believe as Muslims that we have integrity. And that integrity is a means of pride, but from a sense of humility. We have pride in ourselves being Muslim. We believe that being Muslim and Islam, the doctrine of Islam, is the truth. Being that showing God our reverence only to Him is the only means of salvation. Therefore, in this verse, He mentions the one path. And the one path is the path of Islamic monotheism. Worshipping God by Himself, not saying that He has any partners, and based on His actions, you worship Him, you love Him before anything else, over everything else. And in some aspects of worship, only to Him and nothing else. So we ask Allah to guide us to that path, the path of worshiping Him by Himself, recognizing that Muhammad is the last prophet, And then all of the prophets came in chronological order to tell people about that oneness of God, asking him to keep us on the straight path, which is Al-Islam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the exalted keep us on this path of Al-Islam. May he make us of individuals who learn and understand the beauty and want the beauties of Islam, and may he make us of individuals who call people to that in a manner that is befitting and conducive. Jazakumullah khairan. May Allah reward you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you. Thank you.